I think we're live.
This hangout is on air. On air is live. Okay,
Awesome.
let me double check. You're watching. Let's double check here. We're making sure we're not screwing this here.
Refresh the window. Do you need to turn your...
An error occurred. Please try again. Are we not live anymore?
Looks like it. See, this is why I wanted to start the recording the episode at a different time.
I don't know if we're live. Oh, there we are. We're just on a delay. Okay, good. Good.
Yes.
Okay. Control room. Stream status is bad. Please correct the frame rate.
FPS. Maybe it's trying to record too much data.
I don't know.
Recording the episode at a different time.
I don't know if we're live. Oh, there we are. We're just on the delay. Okay, good. I mean, I guess it's okay. It's not as good as what it's supposed to be. If anybody's watching, probably isn't anybody watching. It doesn't say anybody's watching.
But they could be watching later.
That's true. You could be watching later.
This is the funny part of the show where we try and make sure our technology's working correctly.
I don't know how to. If anybody who is watching knows how to correct the frames per second,
Is it in the...
maybe your internet connection
Is it
sucks.
in the Hangouts? The actual Hangout itself?
Oh, the window.
Yeah. Like in the settings?
See, it all looks good here.
Nope. Nope.
I don't know what that's all about.
What about the settings? Side? Eject any bad actors? It's hilarious. There's a video settings on the side here.
Cameraman, that changes capture, share. Yeah, this is the stuff that I get when we're doing a hangout together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess just go with it.
Yeah, let's
What
just
is this
go.
over here? Volume?
Yeah.
Is it to mute us?
I think so.
Okay, that's what that does. Now we know. Okay, well, I guess we have one viewer. Maybe that one viewer could be us.
Yes.
I am opened up on there.
On another window.
Well, okay.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, now the stream status is good.
Oh, good. I don't know what that was all about then.
I don't know.
Huh. All right.
All right,
I guess
everybody.
we'll get ready just here. Just a quick second here, guys.
We're gonna double.
We will officially start the live stream in uno momento. Okay, just a second.
I think if you stop opening it in different tabs, at least,
I want to just.
kill all
I
the
need to
bandwidth.
be able to see everything. This is new to me, and then I like that. Wonder what it looks like now. It still looks kind of. Okay. Well, I guess we have one viewer. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. It ain't great. It ain't great. I bought this new camera today. It ain't great. I'm probably gonna return it and try another one, but at least for widescreen,
Yes.
which is what we didn't think we were gonna get. We thought it was gonna be full screen.
Yeah.
Which sucks. So, okay, we're gonna start the podcast.
Yes, and thank goodness we've done this a couple times. So the podcast at least will function smoothly.
Right. That's at least one thing we know how to do.
Yes. All right. Hey everybody, this is Nicholas.
And I'm Lindsay Mead.
And you're listening to Two Bad Pagans Podcast.
And something new is happening today.
It is!
Yes. For the first time ever, we are also live streaming this podcast through YouTube.
We are.
Yeah. So I know a lot of you guys like to listen to us in your cars or wherever, but if you would also like to watch these things live or go back and watch them, you can go over to Two Bad Pagans on YouTube. We will provide links, of course,
Yeah.
through our website and all that stuff. but then you'll be able to watch it even after it's live. It will then upload itself onto YouTube, and you'll be able to go back and watch it again.
Yes, so you can watch us try and fumble around with the webcam for
Yeah.
about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we did this for like 5 minutes before we actually started this podcast, and it was kind of awkward.
Just trying to figure out what's going on, where.
But one of the things I mentioned that really disappoints me about the podcast is that it's not live. So we don't get comments and instant reactions. We don't have that interaction with people that I like so much. I mean, fan mail is amazing. I love that. But it'd be really cool to be able to say, so-and-so gives their opinion on this and that. And now, of course, you know, this channel is brand new. We have no subscribers except for Nick and I.
Yes.
So we don't really expect to get any comments the first time around. We didn't even advertise this anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't talk about it in my vlog yet, nothing like that, because we really did not know if this was going to work. Yeah. I mean, I said to you earlier that when you buy new technology, buying this camera and all that, I got a new webcam for this, you have like a 20% chance that it will actually work the way you want it to. That's how it works when it comes to new technologies.
And who knows?
But we set it up, and it's live, and it was a little bit awkward at first, but it seems to be okay.
Yeah, it seems to be going well.
Yeah.
And in the future, we'll talk about it. I might put a blog post up, and if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, we'll try and get a live event scheduled
ahead of time.
Yeah, when we know we're going to be doing a podcast.
Yeah, because usually we know, a couple days before we film or before we record here, when we're going to do it. We'll be like, oh, hey, are you free on this day? Yeah, me too. Let's get together. Yeah. We may not have the times, banged out, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But to give you an idea, so this is just lots of options for everybody. Those who can't do podcasts can watch it live, and vice versa.
Yep, and it'll be great. And even after it's live, you'll be able to comment on the YouTube videos themselves.
Yes, we'll definitely be responding to those, of course.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
But please forgive us. There's most definitely a learning curve here. It's already interesting. Like, I'm talking to our recording device, and then I'm also like looking at the camera at the same time, and then back and forth, and I'm like, this is it's definitely going to be interesting. Yeah.
And the video recording really throws the illusion that we're in some studio somewhere. You can just look at the YouTube recording and find out we're in my apartment talking to my phone.
Yes, you're talking to your phone. Why do you want to say it with your phone?
Well, it's kind of obvious.
That's how fancy we are.
We're so fancy. See, we're gonna hide it. And,
$25 Logitech camera and Nick's phone.
My phone. We're bad pagans.
We are. We're bad pagans. We're bad at everything. We just kind of wing it through life.
Yeah.
And that
sometimes
works for
that's
me.
the best way to do it. So what's been going on in your life?
Oh, just working on the beast for me. For those of you who are new, I'm a daily blogger on YouTube. I'm also publishing a book here soon. And that's what I'm doing. It's all edits all the time. I kind of slacked off the last 5 days. I can't lie, because you can watch the YouTube videos and see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all my life is about. Is just trying to finish that book. And, also, if you watch the daily vlog, then you know that I'm trying to kick the fast food habit and change my lifestyle. And that's going very, very well. Like, I think I'm on, like, I don't know, day 13 or day 12.
I think so.
And the daily vlog is a couple days behind, so it's even a couple more days than that. I'm supposed to go 21 days without fast food to officially break the habit. That's what they say.
Go 21 days without something.
Yeah, or do something for 21 days or 21 times in a row in order to create that habit. So
I've always liked that theory. I'm trying to clean up my house in 21 days because Lindsay put it out on her vlogger channel. Hey, does anyone want to do the 21-day habit break with me? And I was like, well, my apartment's a little bit like I have boxes and crap in the corner and stuff. So I'm like,
a little cluttered.
Yeah, I could try and clean up the clutter.
Yeah.
So. And
it's been cool too, because I've gotten so many people that are doing different things. I mean, like one subscriber is trying to quit headbanging. Apparently she headbangs every single night, and she's said, I want to stop doing that because I'm sure it's bad for my neck. So she's trying to go 21 days without any sort of headbanging.
Yeah, and I think she's doing a decent job for a while.
Yeah, as far as I know, she's still on board. I think unless I'm confusing her with someone else, I think she actually tweets me every single day.
Yeah, she does.
This day down. How do you know? Are you like a big stalker watching my Twitter or something?
I do, actually. Things Lindsay doesn't know.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday. You had referenced Hailstorm.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big Hailstorm fan. My sister and I were both big Hailstorm fans. And we recently got tickets to go see them in May. And yesterday you referenced them, and I'm like, I'm pretty certain he's not a Hailstorm fan.
I like Hailstorm.
I think you said, well, you like him, so I went and looked him up.
Yeah. Well, you've seen him before. You're gonna go see him again in May. This is my stalker face.
It's kind of awesome. I mean, as long as you like show up at my house outside my window or something, we're totally cool. Yeah, none of that. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awkward.
So the beast is happening.
Yes, the beast is going well.
And I wanted to say this earlier. I have read The Beast, and it's
true. Yes, he's the first person to read the full book all the way through.
Mm-hmm. It's very good. I'm so excited for you guys to read it. And I think didn't your other friend
Trisha?
Yeah,
Trisha
didn't
Wolf.
she say
Author Trisha Wolf.
Mm-hmm. She said about
name
the same
dropping.
thing. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it because I'm that stalker who knows her name, but.
Oh, no, I could totally name drop her.
Okay.
Go buy her books. Her books are amazing.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
But she said pretty much the same thing. What was it? Best retelling ever?
Yeah, that's what she said on Twitter. Best retelling ever.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's hard to like, I don't know. Maybe I'm emotionally broken or something, but like it's hard for me to get really excited about it. Like if you had finished the book in front of me and then giving me your raw reactions, maybe that would be one thing. But like just getting a couple messages here and there. Like the only thing that really was significant to me was like a couple days after you finished reading it, you had messaged me on Facebook and said, I missed the Beast.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I was like, so is the second book done? I know it's not. But I was like, I'm just jamming her that way. So is it done yet? Is it done yet? I'm like that little child. I can't get enough of it.
That's good. It's good that you're excited like that because hopefully that means that everybody else will be that excited about the book.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and in my you had said the other a week ago something like that. Hey, when if you want you can send it to me now and I'll start editing it. Like you're that excited, like you just want to read it again, get back into it. I'm like I haven't even done my edits yet. Yeah,
but I want to read the edited version.
I think you're going to be, because Trisha, she gave me a whole lot of notes and stuff. I think you're going to be really interested to see what's changed and been added. All good things. All good things. Yeah.
Stupid Victorian etiquette and stuff. Not letting people kiss.
Well, we're just, we can't talk about it. We can't talk about it on here. They haven't read the book yet. We can't talk about it.
This is true.
But what we can talk about today, what do we have planned today?
What do we have? Well, we were talking. I didn't talk about what's going on in my life.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. You talked about the clutter thing, and then I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to monopolize the whole thing.
Well, the clutter can. Anyway. Pretty much I've just been working. That's about it. But I did take a day trip over to New York City.
You did. That's right.
Last weekend.
I was so jealous.
Oh, it was so much fun. And I think I normally wouldn't mention it, but it was such like I don't know. It was a very spiritual thing for me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like because I'm from Michigan. I'm from a city in Michigan, but it's a pretty tiny city compared to New York City. And it was just really strange going to New York City where it's just so many people.
Right.
It was a little bit crazy for me.
I bet it was. And mind-blowing because you think you know a big city until I think you experience New York. Not that I've ever experienced New York, because I most definitely have not.
But you go to Times Square and you're one of thousands of people in this block radius, and there are these HD screens on every build. It was unreal. And the ball that drops is really this big. It is tiny.
And the ball's always there?
Well, it was there now. It's probably just for January. But you know how on TV they make it look like it's giant and massive? It's this big. It's a little bit bigger than a soccer ball.
you just realize that they can't see you. Yep. See, we're already starting to change because we know that some people can see us. But the majority of you are actually listening and not actually watching, so we have to be careful here.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I
crazy.
saw your Facebook post. You had sent a picture from Times Square, and you
Yeah.
said in Times Square, and I actually didn't believe you.
No.
I was like, wait, really? Are you really in New York? Because you hadn't said anything about going.
No.
You know, as far as I was concerned, you were still going to work every day.
Nope.
Being old, dependable, and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, you're in New York.
Yeah.
And I'm like instant jealous and a little bit angry that you didn't invite me.
Well, it was very last minute with a friend of mine. And she's just like, hey, Sting wrote a musical called The Last Ship. It's really good, but it's closed now. Boo. Anyway, and it was closing. It closed Saturday the 24th, I think. And she was like, we have a week to see it. When are you free? So I had a 2-day period where I got out of work and then I had to be back at work. So we had a span of 48 hours, I think, it was more like 36 to get to New York, watch the show, hang out for a bit, and then drive back. Mm-hmm. All the while there's icy conditions on the roads and heavy fog in the hills of Pennsylvania. And and the two of us drove out, which was insane. Oh, it
sounds amazing.
It was this weird, I'm still trying to process it. And the show was really emotional for me for some unknown reason, because I was so exhausted at that point because I kind of I hadn't slept at that point for about 28 hours, I want to say. It ended up being 60 hours before I got a good night's rest from when I woke up Saturday morning to when I went to bed Monday night, I think.
Yeah.
But so I was when I was watching the show, and then all of a sudden at the end of it, it just hit me and I started bawling, and I don't know, something just happened. And I don't know. I just think it's important to talk about this kind of things. But yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a great time and a little adventure there.
Yeah. It was good.
That's awesome.
It's good times. Good times. Yeah. So that leads us on to, it is January.
Yeah.
It is the new year. We talked a little bit about the 21-day habit break. And something that both Lindsay and I wanted to do in this episode is talk a little bit about what our goals are for 2015.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go first?
I can. I will also add that I just almost said 2014.
Did you? I have not had that much problem making the switch over to 2015.
It looks incompatible to me. When I see the number, when I write it out on a check, I haven't really this year. I haven't had too much trouble writing out the date, but then afterwards, I always had this moment of crap! I just wrote that. Oh no, that's the right year. Because I almost always, inevitably, for the past 3 or 4 years, when I go to write a check, I always write it the previous year or the previous month, or I haven't had any of those problems, but it just looks wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my goals for this year. This is going to sound familiar to some of Lindsay's followers, but I really want to work on seeking happiness this year, because I think that's me pounding my thumb against the table.
I'm sorry. Just now, you said this is going to sound really familiar to Lindsay's followers. I'm going to seek happy this year. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't ever talk about needing to seek happiness in my videos.
No.
I was really confused about that.
But that's a big theme on Lindsay's vlog.
At the end of every video, I always say, stay positive, seek happiness. I say that every time, because you have to seek your happiness. It's not going to find you unless you're one of the lucky few. But even then, I think you still have to seek it out yourself.
Yeah.
But you had said that, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
What am I talking about? And really, I just think it's a great way of saying it, because I think I'm a little bit of an enabler, and just try to help people a lot, to the point of where I think I'm a crutch for some people, and it really, it ends up hurting me and it ends up hurting them. And so I really want to work on living for myself, and that's not being selfish, but making sure that I'm taken care of before I take care of everyone else, I guess.
Well, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm not a crutch for anybody.
No. It's the me gene.
It's the me gene.
It's
true.
No.
I don't need anybody. I ain't going to help nobody.
Yeah. To that end, I think I want to lose a little bit of weight. I really like my body. I think I'm comfortable with my weight, but I know a lot of people who are in their, like my parents are in their 60s, and they have such a difficult time losing weight.
Mhm.
So I really want to get to a comfortable weight before I get to an age to where it's difficult.
Right. Maybe start changing habits early on in life.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And just start small, one by one,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
like cutting out the fast food, or
Yeah.
changing out something for organic, or just trying to get more vegetables in.
Or making salads for work instead of taking a can of soup.
The sooner you start that, the easier I think it will be. You don't want to get to that. Like this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I saw a video where.
She's not sorry.
Not really. No, it's my thing. I saw a video where a guy had lost like 360 pounds, and the video was titled, if you guys want to find it, it was titled "My Biggest Insecurity: Loose Skin." And in the video,
I did see that.
You did see that. He basically takes off his clothes. Not like, you don't see any private parts, something like that, but he takes off his shirt, and you see it, and it's quite appalling. Like, I was almost in tears watching this video.
It was very emotional.
And I felt so bad for him, and like also kind of moved that he was so willing to put this out there, because I'm like, I could never do that. Yeah. And I was also kind of mad at God too at the exact same time. So I'm like, how can you allow him to go through so much work and then leave him, with that will never go away? I don't think, anyway.
I think over time, but it takes time.
Right. So then I'm thinking, I'm not 360 pounds. I'm like 210 or something like that. So I'm thinking, first, God, I hope I don't ever have that bad of a problem with it. But then also, thankfully, I noticed my problem. I'm like, I made a difference now, so that I'm no longer increasing, I'm decreasing. So maybe, I might be covered in stretch marks, but I'm not going to have terrible loose skin when it's all said and done.
I mean, and like you see it in the video, you see like his breast tissue is like hanging down. You see his arm tissue, but his belly tissue you don't really see because it's tucked into his pants line, and there comes a point in the video where he untucks it and it just hangs there. Yeah, and I think that's where I just lost it.
Yeah, I was actually pretty early on, because he was like, "Oh, see, my arm looks pretty normal," and then he grabbed his arm and he like super stretched the skin. And I literally just gasped. Which I'm not a gasping sort of person, but I did.
Well, and I think it hit me there because I don't have very much weight on my arms or anywhere else in my body. It's all in my stomach. And that's where it really just hit home for me.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to have that problem.
No.
No way.
But I could. I mean, if
you got yourself up to 300 and some pounds. Which, by the way, Nick's, I don't think anywhere close to that. So.
Well, like 60 pounds away, but I'm tall, so.
You are tall. So I was going to say you're like a foot taller than me. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's one of my goals this year, is to lose a bit of weight. Not too much, because like I said, I like my body. I want to start forming healthy habits now while it's easier for me to do, and while I'm not stuck in my ways. Because I watch my parents. My dad is probably about 60 pounds heavier than I am, I would guess. And it's just so, like, he's excited when he loses like half a pound. He notices it, and and it's so hard for him, and he has to do all these different dietary things and can't have this and that. And I can lose like 2 pounds in a day. Right. Just by changing a couple of dietary things. Yeah. I mean, after a while, I hit that threshold where it starts becoming the hard fat instead of just the daily.
Right, and then you gotta start exercising or something.
Yeah, but still, it's a lot easier for me.
Yeah, better to change yourself now. It'll be healthier in the long run anyway. Yeah. You're less likely to have heart problems and other issues that come along with age and being overweight. Yeah.
And to the end of trying to seek my happiness, I think I'm going to try and be more spiritual and connect with my spirituality this year.
Not be such a bad pagan.
Yes.
So you're saying.
As one of our fans said at one point, there's no such thing as a bad pagan or a good pagan, but you get my gist. And that's really what Lindsay and I believe. There's not really a bad pagan or a good pagan. We're just.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't know.
I mean, I see some pagans that they're like primo pagan. They're like, they live, they breathe it, everything. And we're pretty shitty.
I suppose.
I think I am. I mean, I've been practicing pagan for a really long time, like probably 10 years or more now. But I'm still really crappy. I still don't do the rituals like I'm supposed to. I don't know all the holidays like I'm supposed to. Like I pray and I believe and all this stuff, I'm there spiritually. I just don't do anything.
I don't know. And that's kind of why Lindsay and I started podcasting. Because once a month we can come back to it and say, this is what we're doing, and it's almost not accountability, but sort of. Yeah, it is. It keeps us thinking about it and talking about it.
And I know that I've made a bit more effort to be more about it since we've started doing this. Not as much as I would like, but it's a new year, so that can be a thing.
Yeah, it's a step for me at least. And, it really helps to hear from you guys. And, we've had some great listener mail. The whole support system and talking to you guys has been really great for me. So I really want to work on that. I really want to, for my own self, finish the book that I started last November for National Novel Writing Month. You can listen about it in episode 2 and 3 of the podcast. So the previous 2 episodes. Yeah. I really want to finish it by November so that I can start a new novel in November and hopefully finish it in November.
Now, they're probably going to be wondering do you intend on publishing? Is that what your goal is, to become an actual author, or what's your thoughts on that?
I think
because even I don't know what he wants to do with it.
Yeah, I think I just want to have that sense of completion and that I've finished something. I think it's more about a journey for myself than it would be to publish it. I mean, I could publish it, that doesn't bother me. It'd be something that would be fun to do, but I just want to finish it for myself.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Gotcha. I'm with you.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I was just going to say he's writing for fun, but don't expect it to ever necessarily be out there. Unless he changes his mind.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's not going to be out there, but I'm not writing it to get published and to be widely released and to have it be made into a movie. Those aren't my goals.
I would be so mad at you if you published it and that happened. And it didn't happen for me.
I was like, we need to add that agenda if it doesn't happen.
He starts a daily vlog channel, blows up, hits like 5,000, 10,000, just keeps going in a matter of a month. Publishes a book, gets picked up by a big house. I'm still working on my 330 people, and my book has been read by a handful. I would be so mad at you. I'd be like, you stole my life. How dare you?
So much.
That'd make you like the ultimate stalker. Like you literally stole my life.
Well, I do have several of the manuscripts of her books, so I can just finish them out.
That's not cool. Don't be talking like that.
I've crossed the line.
You've gone too far.
Oh, goodness. Anyway.
So any other plans? So you want to seek happiness.
Yep.
And you want to become, be healthy, be more spiritual. Is there anything else?
I think those really, those are the umbrella goals. And I think in the past I've had resolutionary agreements with myself where I would do this and that and this and that and this and that. I think those are pretty good starting goals to not disappoint myself later this year.
Right. No, well, that makes sense.
Because that's happened before.
Yeah.
And that makes August, September area really depressing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I've tried to do way too much this year.
Yeah, if I go back and I watch my to-do list for 2014, I guarantee you I don't think I did any of that.
I remember it.
Except for maybe, I don't know if I said publish the beast or finish the beast. If it was published, I definitely didn't do it. But if it's finished, I finished it it was technically the first that I finished writing it. But still.
I think you wanted to have the whole trilogy published.
Oh yeah, I was really optimistic, and I'm still optimistic. I'm still planning on having the entire trilogy finished this year,
and I think you could do that now that you have one under your belt.
Yeah, It I definitely said in the vlog that it felt like I'd been chasing a rainbow for so long, and trying to when you're anytime you're in a dream or even in real life, try to chase a rainbow, you'll never reach it. It just keeps moving and keeps staying ahead of you, and that's the way it feels to write a book. And then all of a sudden, I reached the ending. I mean, like I stayed home on New Year's Eve and just that's all I did was write.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, that's all I did was write. And I finished the book, and it felt like I'd found that pot of gold. Like it actually happened. And I was like, oh my God. It was more of a profound experience than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And it made every other book so much more possible.
Yeah.
And the second one, because NaNoWriMo is already 20,000 words in. So
that's great.
Yeah. So I definitely see it being possible. I just got to stop slacking off.
So what are the rest of your goals for the new year?
Well, obviously it's to lose weight, to keep on that, to stay off the fast food, go organic, start exercising, lose the weight, be a healthier me. And then publish the books, you know, if not, I don't even want to say publish the series. That would be amazing if I published a series, but just to start publishing and to be like, that is my thing. I am an author and that's what I do.
Yes.
Like to be at that point. And then, yeah, those are definitely the big ones, the biggies. But I think like this, I guess like the stretch goals would be like, and like goals that are totally outside of my control would be like, I don't know, to hit 1,000 on YouTube.
1,000 subscribers?
Yeah, on my daily vlog. Because my other channel, my author channel, it's got 1,000 and some subscribers, but I don't really use that. That's, you know, I put our Drunk Disney on there, and I'm going to be putting my book trailer on there, and my live release party will be on there, and that's what that's for. It's the occasional video.
Yeah.
But my daily vlog, that's like my new baby, and I love that, and I would love to see that do really well. So if I could hit 1,000 on there, but that's such a stretch.
It's so hard to get followers like that.
It is. I got really excited because I got to 337, and then last night I dropped to 336. And it took me so long to get to 330. Like I bounced between 325 and 330 for so long, and then I hit that 30 mark, and I went several past it, and I'm like, yeah, I've got my foot in the 30s. Yes, I did it. And that, again, I'm stuck between the 35 and then the 40. Yeah. It doesn't seem like some YouTubers, they can make videos and they just blow up, and it just happens for them. And it's just not the way it seems to work for me. And that sucks, but I'm okay with it. I still love YouTube. I'm still going to keep making videos. I love the few subscribers that I do have.
You have a pretty active commenter base.
I do. Sometimes I wish they were a bit more active. I'm just kidding.
Just kidding. But you respond to everybody that comments.
I try to. I've been really bad about it lately. I keep ending up a couple of days behind.
Yeah.
And then when they don't comment on time, or several days go by and I have videos where they don't comment, I blame myself. I'm like, it's because I didn't comment on their previous comments. I didn't reply to them, so now they feel like there's no point. And that's probably not true. They're probably busy, but that's the way my head thinks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see my YouTube channel flourish for sure. I would love to see my books flourish, but all these things are very much out of my control. I can kind of promote them, but it's just luck, I think, behind a lot of it. So I guess I have to pray a lot this year.
Yeah.
And that's what, I'd love to be more spiritual. I'm going to be getting my first tattoo this year. Yeah. That will definitely happen.
Exciting.
Yeah, sort of. We'll see. I imagine I'm going to end up being all tattooed up. I can kind of see that happening too.
With your box braids and your...
Yeah, I'm going to be getting box braids, which for those of you who don't know, box braids are like where you have like your whole head done up in tiny braids. I'm going to be giving that a try this year because I'm sick of the curly mess that is my hair. So I want to try that and go product free as much as possible, because box braids, you don't use product. You just braid them, and then you take care of your scalp and your hair with oils, which would be so much healthier than, loads of hairspray, a pound of hairspray, and then a pound of mousse, and it'd be so much healthier and probably cheaper.
Probably.
Yeah. So, yeah, just definitely, I think, just being healthier and striving to be the best person that I could possibly be, the best version of Lindsay that there is to be. So if by the end of the year comes around and I'm perfectly happy with my weight, I'm healthy, I am published, and I feel good about myself, then I'll probably consider 2015 to be a win.
Sounds good. It's been a pretty great year so far.
So far. Yeah, I think so. And me specifically, I think most of my things will be done by the end of spring.
Yeah.
Like not the stretch goals, but like I will be a thin mint by the end of spring. I'll have my box braids, I'll have my tattoos, and I'll have been published.
You want to be a thin mint?
Well, I don't want to be like a skeleton, but that's the words that came to mind.
Okay.
I don't want to be a chubster. I just want to be me.
Yeah.
I want to be athletic.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's like, 115, 120 type thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm short, so if that number appalled some of you, I'm really short. Sometimes I get that reaction. Oh my God, that's too thin. Well, I am only 5'3". So.
Yeah. Now me at 6'2",
Yeah,
being
see?
120 would be terrible.
You are. You're a lot taller than me.
But around 190, 180 would be fun.
So, and then, the great thing is that you and I, it's almost like we're on the exact same energy, wavelengths,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So, I think we help each other a lot. We support each other a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it when I say I'm going to do something, I'm trying to do something, and then I see you doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And that actually inspires me. So I think I don't want to fail because I know Nick is doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes the same for all my subscribers.
Take National Novel Writing Month, for example. Because we were like, oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I'm like, ha, I did this many words today.
Yeah. Although he totally kicked my ass. He really did. He blew me out of the water on National Novel Writing Month.
Well.
He's all bashful now.
I didn't pick it up for that reason, but
I'm just giving credit where it's due.
Yeah. So going forward in our new year, we both wanted to be more spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Something that we had talked about shortly after we recorded our last show was, what are the ethics of using energy and using spirituality to further our goals?
Uh-huh. Did we talk about that last show?
We didn't. It was 3 days after our show.
Oh, okay.
You put it out on a Facebook message. You were like, so I just read this article about the ethics of energy.
Yes, because it was shared. It was shared on Facebook by one of the witch pages that I follow. I follow quite a few of them, and they shared this kind of statement that talked about energy, and there's a limited amount of energy in the world or in the universe, and when you use energy to do a spell, you're taking energy from something else to do that spell. And I think they were talking about specifically certain types of spells, like love spells or vanity spells. Things like that. I can't remember specifically what it was, but something that would come up rather shallow.
Yeah.
And basically the article kind of, or the meme or whatever it was, kind of ended with a poor child, a little African child with an empty bowl of food. And they said, you creating this spell to look pretty or to have love or whatever it was, could be taking rice out of the bowl of some child in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that is the biggest BS I have ever heard.
Yeah.
By that reasoning, then we should never ever do magic. Because there is nothing that trumps feeding a child.
Yeah.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, weight loss, better job, my sick grandma, none of that trumps feeding that little baby.
Yeah.
Never.
Depression, trying to overcome depression.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I was reading the comments, and a lot of people were saying, oh, I totally agree. And I think they were just, I don't know, taking up the flag against the vanity spells or whatever. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong, if you guys find this on Facebook and you're like, oh no, they were talking about this specific spell. But I don't think it really matters, to be honest with you, what spell I don't really believe that there is a finite amount of energy in the universe. I think there is abundance in all things. And there is as much energy as we need to do what we need to do.
Yes. I pretty much agree with Lindsay on this.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we brought it up, because we wanted to hear what you guys had to say. But I pretty much agree with Lindsay. I think to say that there's such a finite amount that we can't do pretty much any, because you're right, nothing trumps
feeding a child.
Or
I mean, heck, if I was in a scenario where there's a starving child in front of me and they're like, well, if you want to feed this child, the only way this child's going to eat is if you chop off your right arm, I'm pretty certain I would go, okay.
Yeah.
no problem. I probably wouldn't even hesitate, to be honest with you. I'm like, well, this is gonna suck.
Tomorrow, this is gonna suck. But right now,
if that's the only thing I can do, then yeah. So I'm like, that's flawed to me. That whole logic. And also, you know, I would say that there's, how many witches would you think is in the world, or not even witches, the magical practitioners are in the world? Like what, 20%, something like that? I wouldn't think it's that many.
Yeah.
In compared to the overall population. So by that logic, there really shouldn't be any starving children.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah.
Because
we're not taking.
There's not really enough of us, I think, or that then we're all doing a magic that's making us like millionaires and stuff. Because there's plenty of starving children in the world.
Yeah, I don't think the two correlate, and I think, I don't know. It just seems to me that especially, I don't know, because I think a lot of our energy flows from nature and, you know, the things that are around us. And yeah, there are starving people around us, but I don't think that any of the spells that Lindsay or I would do would have any impact on taking energy away from any of those people.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I mean, the world is getting a little overpopulated, but I still think the universe is pretty much limited. You know, there is a limit to the universe, but it's not something that we can fathom as human beings.
Right.
Any of the amount of energy that we'll be using won't, like, make the sun go black, you know?
Right. That'd be wild if it did. Like, oops. My bad.
Sorry, guys. It'll take us 8 seconds to find out. So.
Right. That'd be something.
Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So that's my thinking.
Yeah. It just irritated me that someone would write that and put that out there, and I'm like, it just didn't seem to me that they really thought that out. And then enough people were getting behind it that it's like bandwagging, basically. And like everybody's like, I'm gonna take up this flag with you, and we're never gonna do good luck spells, or you know, whatever it was. And
yeah, and I don't know. I mean, vanity spells are their own thing, but I don't know. It's such a hard. Ethics are so difficult because it's so hard for me to say, no, you should never do vanity spells. But then I can't say that for every situation and for every person.
I don't see any reason to say something like that.
Yeah, I don't either. That whole argument is just strange to me.
Yes.
But if any of you get, I can talk. If any of you guys have any other insight, you know, feel free to email us at twobadpaganspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. If you agree with us, or if you have a different opinion, and we'll share it on the next show.
Or you could head over to our YouTube channel,
Two
Bad Pagans, and comment on the specific video if you'd like.
Yeah, you can do that.
Or if you're watching right now, feel free to comment.
Feel free to comment.
And we haven't had any comments or any views, but that's okay, because this is our first one. So.
Yeah, and we didn't announce it because we weren't sure if it would work. So
yeah. I imagine when the vlog comes up and people see that we did this, they're going to be like, why didn't you tell us?
Yeah. There's good reason.
I hope they have that reaction anyway.
Watch the first 5 minutes of the video and you'll find out why we didn't tell you.
Yeah. But going along with the ethics thing, I also want to talk about something else I saw on Facebook.
This is the bringer of topics for our show today.
It is, because there is a very prominent witch. She was very popular on YouTube. She makes a video once in a blue moon now, I think.
Yeah.
And she was like the first witch I ever came across, and Wiccan, that I ever came across on YouTube. And I kind of just like fell in love with her. I thought she was fantastic. Like the perfect example of what I wanted to be in terms of being a witch. Mm-hmm. And she recently posted on Facebook, I wish I had it in front of me so I could quote it, but she basically said she was like flabbergasted by all of these new witches, air quotes, that are out there. Christian witches, atheist witches. I find it a little condescending.
Yeah. I
think that's basically what she said. And then I was like, wow, is she like in a bad mood or something? Because it really did not sound like her. She's usually a very love and light, very positive, good vibrations type gal. No judging, which is why I liked her. And then I'm looking at the comments, and they're all like totally in agreement with her. Fortunately, there was at least a couple of comments every now and then that was not. Because I'm of the mindset of, live and let live. Absolutely. I have, to me, it's not really that much of a stretch. I mean, calling yourself an atheist witch is a bit silly because a witchcraft is not a religion. It's a practice. So by saying you're a witch, you're not necessarily saying that you have a religion.
Yeah. And even atheist pagans that I guess I used to know one decently well. And it was more agnostic pagan, I think. But they didn't see like nature as divine as much as something to interact with.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's just a mindset thing, I think.
Yeah.
But who are you and I to say that that's not a valid form of?
Right. Even the same thing for the Christian witches. I totally get that.
Yeah.
There is plenty of Christian witchcraft out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's even a book, Practical
Candle Magic?
Something like that.
Yeah.
By, I think,
Raymond Buckland?
Mm-hmm.
She told me about it the other day.
Yeah.
Which is what I can remember.
And, I mean, I could have the author wrong or the title wrong, but I'm pretty certain it's something like that. And if you look it up, it's a pretty fantastic book, but it gives you the pagan version of the spell. And then on the other page, it gives you the Christian version of the spell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still a spell. It's still magic. You're still using candles and various bits, but you're just changing up who your deity is. And
that's what prayer is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Prayer is a very pagan thing, you know? Praying to God,
Right. So it just kind of irritated me that, she felt the need to almost, I guess, call them out or make them less or insult them in some way. Maybe that wasn't her intention. But I mean, why would you even care if that wasn't your intention? Right? I don't care if someone calls himself a Christian witch. If you messaged me tomorrow and said, oh, you know what, I'm officially a Christian witch, or I'm officially an atheist witch, I'd be like, okay.
That's great.
More power to you. Whatever works for you.
And that's one of the reasons why I started looking at paganism as a spiritual journey, because it was something that I could take on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have, I'm not saying the Pope's wrong, but I didn't have the Pope telling me what to believe, what not to believe. I didn't have some Baptist minister saying, you have to believe in this, these people are going to hell. I didn't have,
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why I took this journey upon myself, because I had people who said these are great starting points. These are great, places where you can find information. These are great things you can do. But they didn't say this is the end all be all.
Right.
My experience with paganism is very much just like, this is what I think. Take it, learn from it, run with it.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It shouldn't, of all people, we should absolutely not be judgmental whatsoever, because we spend so much time being persecuted against that we don't want to turn into the persecutor.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm going to take this a little bit strange, but you see it in the gay community as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've seen more transphobic people than in the gay community. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Yeah. You're all being bigoted to another group of our community when we're spending our whole lives trying to inform the world and, trying to get them to treat us like normal people, Yeah. So I think it's just one of those cases.
It makes you want to smack them.
Yeah.
Just give them a good clunk on the side of the head. What are you thinking? Come on.
Yeah.
Get with it, people.
We don't condone violence. But
well,
in this case.
But yeah, and it's funny too, because I think before we did this podcast, we were talking about what we were going to talk about today. And we were going to be like the worst ever podcasters, because we don't really disagree on these things. We're both very live and let live, which is why we get along. Yeah. If you were the sort of person who says, no, it has to be this way or no way, we would be friends.
Which is how I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be like that. I was the world is black and white. The world is black and white. There's no shades of gray. Mm-hmm. There aren't even 50 of them. It's always black and white. And that just killed me inside. Yeah. Seeing the world like that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm very live and let live right. Because it works with me. Mm-hmm. Winging it, I guess, as you put earlier today. It just... Yeah. And
do you really need to have an opinion on everybody's lives?
Yeah.
I know that our culture today, our social culture, really promotes having an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases, I think it is important to have an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But in a lot of cases, is it really?
Yeah.
I mean, do I really need to care so much about what it is that you practice or you do in your free time? I mean, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't really care.
And that's what it comes down to. And harm you none, do what you will.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just don't think we need to have an opinion on it. I think to flat out say that something is condescending or flabbergasting or whatever, I think shows a level of judgment.
Yeah.
And that is really just not healthy. It's not healthy for you, and you really should not be putting that out to your followers.
Which I think is ironic because we're placing judgment on her.
Oh, great. Now I feel bad about that. Maybe it's because I'm disappointed in her. Okay? Maybe I'm just going to be honest. Maybe I'm a little disappointed.
I think that's what we're expressing. It's just disappointment in a fellow community member.
Right. Especially one that, in my opinion, has always shown herself to be very open and accepting and loving and you know, the reason I'm not saying who this person is because it's not like I want to call this person out.
No, that's
who
not.
Who am I to call this person out?
That's not our intention.
No, none
just to
whatsoever.
bring up discussion.
Yes.
See what you guys think.
Just to put out there and say, hey, that this is not necessarily the best opinion to have, the best way to view the world. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for the people around you. You don't need to judge people and have an opinion on everything. Yeah.
But that's our opinion.
Right. I knew you were going to say that. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I knew you were going to turn that back around on me. Man.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Because I could play devil's advocate and I could say, you know, well, they're not, you know, our community is this group of people. Our community is this. Our community is that. And these people shouldn't be included because they weren't, you know, they're jumping on the bandwagon and they're, you know, trying to get in on this thing that's currently in vogue, you know. I don't think it's necessary. No. There's enough energy in the world for all of us.
Right. And then you can't really pretend that something is yours when the world is as old as it is. It's all been around, it's all been used by many things. You know, a lot, you know. They like to act like for example, slavery is like solely an American thing. Like we're the only ones that had slavery, and that's not true even a little bit.
No, even these days.
The whole world, there's plenty of slavery in today's age, but the whole world, every culture, every race has had some form of slavery where they put that on someone else and handed it to them.
And ownership.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's just with all things, it's all been done before. So that's why you can't tell an original story anymore. It's all been done. Yeah.
Yes.
I used to say all the time that you can't, there's no such thing as an original story, only, how did I word it? It was such a great quote. There's no such thing as an original story, only a story made original. That's what I used to say.
I love how she's quoting herself.
I am quoting myself. Damn right. Because somehow that loosely ties into everything we were talking about.
But it's a good way of saying it. This is why you guys listen, because we're off on a little buddy trail.
Yes, we're just going off one way or another.
Yep.
But actually, I think what you just said ties in really well to our listener mail.
Yes.
Which is a good time now to go into our listener mail, right?
Listener mail.
Listener mail. Because the person who we got an email from someone that was rather heartfelt.
Yep. From Stephanie, I believe. I don't think I copied it.
Yeah, you didn't send it to me. I didn't get her name.
I didn't send it to you, but I didn't. I have a show notes printed out or listed on a Google Doc for the two of us, so that we can reference it throughout the show, so that we're not on too many funny trails. Yes. Stephanie was her name.
Okay. So do you want to read it, or at least the first paragraph? Because I read some of that, and I liked what that had to say. And it goes along with what I think we were just talking about a little bit.
It does. It does. I'm just waiting for it to load.
Do you want me to read it? I got it right in front of me right now.
I have it now. Oh. She says, I just found and listened to all 3 episodes of your podcast and I'm looking forward to more. I found you guys completely at random by poking through pagan podcasts on Podcast Republic, if you're curious how you're being found. I describe myself as an unwilling agnostic because I want to believe in something, anything, but I don't. I really rather like paganism in most of its forms, but I think that if something were to stick with me, it would be some form of paganism. And then she goes on to say, I was wondering if you guys either had some resources or recommendations, or would even want to cover this topic in a podcast. But I've had a really bad New Year. Starting New Year's Eve, I had to put my cat to sleep out of nowhere. My great aunt died, an acquaintance died, and then my father died. My boyfriend has ended up in the hospital a couple of times, has chronic problems, but this is a dangerous infection. I feel overwhelmed. Everyone keeps telling me I'm strong. I don't want to have to be strong anymore. I really just want life, the universe, or whatever to stop making my life harder. She puts in a side note that she's not suicidal. She's just stressed. And then she says a lot of the stuff out there dealing with grief or stress from grief and caretaking has Christian themes. It made me wonder if there was any advice, coping methods, or perspective that paganism or Wicca can provide in situations like mine. I'm so tired of hearing that God doesn't give me any more than I can handle, because that's so clearly not true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm casting out for any help I can find, any source, I don't know, but I felt inspired to ask you guys. And then she says, plus, you guys seem really excited when you get listener mail. And we do.
It's true.
And this way you get mail. I know that someone else, I know someone else who doesn't know you is listening. I was like, this does not make sense in my brain. And she says, I get to vent a tiny bit of my stress in the hopes of finding a solution. So I just want to say I enjoy your podcast. You guys clearly get along so well. My conversations with my friends always have bunny trails too.
Yay!
Sorry, this isn't a lighter mail. No worries. But it is what it is.
And you did get a follow-up email from her since then.
I did, because I wanted to ask her if it was okay if we talked about her email on the show, and if we wanted to mention her name, that sort of thing. Because she sent this a week or so ago. I think it was in my trip when I was off to New York. So I was a little bit whirlwinded at the time.
Right.
So I sent her an email today saying, hey, is it okay if we use your email on the show? And she said, yep, that's great. And she also said that she's doing a little bit better with the stress. And I was very grateful to hear that.
Good.
I've been reading through her email a couple of times this week, trying to think of what to say and what to think about.
Well, death is such a difficult thing.
Yes.
Because I've experienced a lot of death in my life.
I was like, we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to try not to cry.
Oh no, we're not going to go there. We're not going to get that heavy.
Okay.
But yeah, I've experienced quite a lot of death in my life, and it's a terrible thing to have to go through.
It is.
And there is nothing there there is no fix. There's no big fix. It's literally a matter of putting one foot in front of the other and taking a breath after another breath and just getting through each day, because each day it gets a little bit lighter. And it doesn't feel that way in the beginning. It feels like the world is sucking itself inside out. That's what death feels like the first time through, and everything just feels wrong in the world. But every single day it gets a little bit easier, gets a little bit lighter, and eventually you will find your way walking out of the fog. It will happen, but it takes time. That's why there's the saying, time heals all wounds, because it does. It just might be a really long time. We just got to make sure you keep going, that you keep walking, that you keep breathing. You just never know what's going to come around the bend, so you have to just stay focused and keep going, most of all. And that's, I think, the only way to deal with death. But I always say at the end of my videos, seek happiness. And I believe that 100%. And that's what I would say in this scenario. That's what I would say in every scenario. And it's a hard thing to say in a scenario like this, because death is such a big thing. But you have the ability to manipulate your perception and your surrounding. If you're having a bad day, it's because you're choosing to have a bad day.
And that's very hard to hear sometimes.
Yes. A lot of people don't like to say that they had anything to do with it. And, not that I'm saying that she had anything to do with death, but because that's completely out of our control.
No.
But
you have the choice on how to respond to it.
Right. You can, I always say that, like, for an example, this is more tuned to everyday circumstances. If I'm on my way to work, I get pulled over and I get a ticket. I can spend the entire day thinking about how crappy it was that I got a ticket and I got pulled over. Now I got to pay $40 to pay this fine, and all this hassle is going to come from that. And I'm going to get points on my license. I could ruin my entire day stressing about this and thinking about this. Or I can give it its due concern. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. I'm going to have to make sure I pull some money out for that, make sure I do that. And then I can take that ticket, I can put it in my wallet out of my sight, and instead think about the fact that the Hailstorm tickets arrived in the mail today.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to go to that concert with my sister. And instead of thinking about replaying that pullover scene and getting that ticket scene and thinking about, oh, I'm really strapped for cash, I'm then going to instead think about rocking out with my sister at the concert, a Hailstorm, and then getting drunk at the hotel room with her and having a great old girls' night.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to think about all day long. And I'm going to stay in a positive attitude.
And I think in those overwhelming, stressful situations, because that, one death is difficult. The amount of stress that she's dealing with is astronomical. And I think when that sort of thing happens in my life, it's kind of the same thing. It's very painful and difficult to do, but you just have to seek happiness in those times. You have to find the good things. You have to find perspective.
Yeah.
And I think, because we could talk about the pagan attitudes of death, and, I think in these situations, I think looking to religion isn't going to help you get through it. Looking to spirituality is different. But
I think it depends on what kind of comfort you're looking for.
That's true.
If you need to believe that they're in a better place, then absolutely. Christianity does provide you with that option. We believe in the fields of white.
Yeah.
And what's the word for it? Do you remember the word for it?
What, reincarnation?
No, we're such bad pagans. No, there's a specific word for where we go when we die.
Oh. Transcendence?
No.
I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna have to Google it.
Okay. At any rate.
But yeah,
we could go into all that. But
yeah.
I think you really, in these, Lindsay's actually going to Google it. I think you just need to, and it's not saying.
Summerland! It's the Summerland.
Yes.
Sorry.
And it's, I'm just going to laugh over here.
Because it's a word. It's the Summerland. It's the fields of white. It's the land of summer, and everybody's happy and running around through wheat fields. And
what about people that like winter?
We get that too.
Okay.
Trust me, it's over there. I would be miserable in an actual land of summer.
Well, regardless if you think it's reincarnation, I think you just have to find yourself, and it's not about saying that God doesn't give you more than you can handle, as much as realizing that us as humanity are kind of amazing beings, and we can go through an awful lot before, and even after we break a couple of times. I think, we're pretty amazing people. We need to, I think, for the times that I've been in those kind of situations where everything's just going down, you just have to realize when that loop or endless swirl, endless spiral is starting, and circumvent it, find the positive things, and I'm reading, it's a business book called The Energy Bus, but especially the first couple of chapters talk about this. I was just reading it before Lindsay came over today, and it's very much just like, okay, so, it uses pretty menial, small things, like, oh, you got a flat tire. That's terrible, and it's making your day terrible. But then as the book goes on, it talks about all the things that this character is having wrong with his life. And it's just that one person that says, stop in this cycle and think positively,
Yeah. Yes, it's definitely about changing your perspective, actively changing your perspective. And I'm not saying that you have to, completely ignore the fact that your loved one has died.
God, no.
Because you can't. You just have to get through that, and then if you need to, compartmentalize it. Take some time to grieve. For the next, 5 minutes or next hour, whatever it needs to be. Think about that person, pray for that person, cry for that person.
Oh yeah.
And then be like, okay, now I need to shift my attention a bit.
And part of the grieving process, I think, is being grateful for the time you had.
Yeah.
being grateful for those moments. I don't know. And I think that's part of the way you can circumvent that loop. Instead of being sorry that person isn't there, be grateful for the time you've had.
Right. And just slowly shift your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I always hated about death is that you had to wait 3 days for the funeral. Because I felt like it was forcing me to hold on to it. Like I couldn't grieve. I couldn't begin to let go until I had that funeral. Mm-hmm. And I hate that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I am ready to start taking, I'm a very proactive person. I'm like, I need to start taking the steps to get through this. And I can't do that knowing that I have this funeral looming over my head, that there's no sense in fully letting go or trying to let go until you get that out of the way. Which perhaps is a terrible way to look at it for some people, but that's the way I always did. I
think it doesn't help that you're a bit of a hermit and don't want to deal with the social interaction at the funeral.
Wow! Thank you for that.
It's true.
Let's put Lindsay's issues out there on the table for everybody to see.
Well, I'm the same way. I'm like, even the funerals that I've had to go to this year, I was like, I want to be there to pay my respects, but I don't want to talk to anyone.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's a whole other different barrel of monkeys.
Yes. Anyway.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
But it's all about just making the effort to shift your perspective.
Yeah.
In all things small and in all things big. Because you don't, why does it's like looking at the news. You know, what makes the news the news? You turn on the news and it's all, somebody was shot at the local Walmart, somebody was kidnapped, there's a war overseas, and all these terrible, terrible things, just one after another. Mm-hmm. And you walk away from it feeling so depressed and so down.
Overwhelmed, yeah.
Yeah, and then on Sunday mornings, I watch another show that never talks about those things called Sunday Morning, CBS Sunday Morning. Mm-hmm. And they'll travel to some pie shop that makes specialty pies, and it makes people happy. People travel from all over the world to try those pies. And then there's a convention for Betty's that happens once a year, where all the Betty's in the world, because there's like 30 of them, they all come together and get together for a Betty convention. That's a real thing. I'm not making that up.
Betty Crocker, Betty Sue.
Right. All these people named Betty because it's a dying name. And anyway, so it's like, these are all very positive things that are very interesting, and I walk away from that show feeling very good about life and feeling very good about myself. And I'm like, why is that any less news than somebody shooting somebody else or some war or whatever? Like, I'm not saying that politics aren't important and we don't need to be in the know, but what makes what news? So why choose to give your attention to the thing that makes you feel sick inside and feel bad about yourself, when you can give your attention to the thing that makes you feel good about yourself? And in turn makes everybody around you, you raise up, and everybody around you raises up with you. Yeah. So it's your responsibility to make that happen.
And especially with the more stressful situations, we're not saying that it's an easy thing to do, but we're just sharing this is what's gotten us through in the past.
Right.
So Stephanie, we're going to send you a lot of love.
Yes. Absolutely. Lots of love and light.
Yes. And we'll be thinking about you, and, feel free and write us back. Let us know how life is going. If anyone else would like to write us, our email address is twobadpaganspodcast@gmail.com. Yep. How else can people contact you, Lindsay?
Well, I'm always available on Twitter, or, even on Facebook, or it might even be, you could go to my YouTube channel. You can go to our Two Bad Pagans YouTube channel and comment directly on the video, and we will absolutely reply to your comments. And one thing I would like to say, though, real quick, is, as much as we love helping people, if anybody needs advice on something like that, I'm afraid that this channel may become, because I've seen this happen to other channels, where it becomes this big therapist
advicey thing.
Yes, and I don't want it to become that. And I feel bad about saying this, because I feel like I'm afraid that people who need help aren't going to seek out that help, or it'll make people feel like they shouldn't email us.
But all you're saying is that we're not professionals.
No.
We're
not seeking to be professional therapists.
No. So we're more than happy to talk about serious subjects every now and again, but if you're looking for help, you need to go find professional help.
Right. We're a pagan podcast. We talk about pagan stuff and witchcraft and
And our lives that are loosely associated
right.
with being pagan.
Yes, and that's where we would like to keep the show, in a very positive place.
Yes.
I don't want to walk away from these podcasts feeling really crappy about life. You know,
Life is pretty crappy sometimes.
it can be. Yes, I want to stay on the lighter side of things if we can pull that off.
Yeah.
But you know, don't let that deter you. Just don't seek that out.
Yeah.
Please.
Crazy. So if anyone would like links to contact us, feel free and head over to our blog over at twobadpagans.blogspot.com. There are little about tabs where it says about Lindsay, about Nicholas. It has any of the links that you can contact us. It has links to our YouTube channel where you can watch us. Hey, everybody. And
we waved. For those of you listening.
Yes. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for listening to us this month.
Yes.
I'm Nicholas.
And I'm Lindsay Mead.
Blessed be.
And love and light. Bye.
See you, everybody.